I heard someone in the back say it, so let's all do it again. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. So your first speaker tonight is an instructional technologist at NC State University. I will set aside my collegiate alliances for right now. Go back! That just hurt me. It hurt me inside, but she is great. Her name is Bethany Smith, and her talk is Presentational Zen, How Not to Give a Boring Ignite Presentation. Give it up for Bethany Smith.
Hi everybody, my name is Bethany, and I work at NC State, and I see lots of really bad PowerPoint. And how do I know it's bad PowerPoint? Well, we all get immensely bored, don't we? Because we've all seen really bad ones. You know the ones where people read word for word off of the slide, something that they already sent you, bullet points with huge paragraphs of text copied and pasted. You have to stop. We have to stop doing bad PowerPoint. We all know it's bad, but why do we do it? Because it's easy. Because Microsoft gives us the tools to make it easy. So we don't have to think. So we don't have to give good PowerPoints. But we all know they suck. We all press mute, right, when we're on the conference call and not talk back. Right, so we've got Richard Mayer. Richard Mayer, multimedia learning. He proves that all our PowerPoints are bad. Cognitive load theory talks about what's good, what's bad with PowerPoint. He says that when you read the text on the slide, your brain is matching that text to the voice and it negates learning. So all of us that learned nothing from PowerPoint in college, we now have a reason to tell everybody, right? So this is what we talk about. So how do we do it? How do we do good PowerPoint? Well, it's hard. It's really hard to do good PowerPoint. And Microsoft and even Keynote, Apple people, really don't want us to do it well, right? So we look at Presentation Zen and we look at Gar Reynolds. And there's other people out there that do great presentations. Larry Lessig does some great ones. Dick Hart had a great Identity 2.0. But we're going to look at some basic principles of Presentation Zen and what we can do. No animation. Typewriter? No. We've all did it. We all did it the first time. We thought it was really cool. No, we never do that. Things do not fly in. Words do not appear. We do not have race cars. We don't want any of that. Clip art. Nobody looks at clip art. We don't like clip art. I worked on an eye tracking study where we basically proved that nobody ever looks at it. But why do we put it there? Because we can't have a blank piece of space. Bullet points. No bullet points. The reason we have bullet points. How many of you are old enough to remember when you used to have to print out PowerPoints on transparencies? Right? So that's why we have bullet points, so that we don't take up paper. Guess what? We have projectors. We don't have to worry about that. No templates. Please do not choose the blue background and the yellow background and the red swirl. No branding people. I don't need a logo on every PowerPoint slide to remind me where you're from. So now, what's the point? What do we need PowerPoint for? Obviously, not very much. But there are some actual things that we can do. We can actually think about a presentation. Shocker. We could actually maybe pull out a piece of paper and write with a pen. This is my actual presentation. And we could talk about and think about what is it that I'm trying to convey. What is it that I want people to come away from to have a really good presentation? So keep it simple, right? Strip everything away. Larry Lessig puts one word up on a slide. Every time I do that, I go a little off task. When I taught, my students used to love those stories. So what we really want is to take everything off. Use great imagery. Think about, all right, I'm trying to convey something. What is the image that conveys that? And I'll tell you what, it's a hell of a lot harder than just putting that text out on a piece of paper. So when we take that great image, how do I find these pictures? Creative Commons rules, right? Flickr, we're looking, if you do an image Google search, you can actually search for Creative Commons images. And what you can do is you can find all of those images to be able to add to your presentation, so you're not stuck with what Microsoft wants to give you. And then I, and all the presentations in this all the photos in this presentation were saved to my Delicious account so that I can give credit, everybody can find them later, and guess what? I have like over 100 pictures that I use in all my presentations now. But it takes time. It really takes time to put together a good presentation. But isn't your audience worth it? Isn't it worth it, all of you that showed up, for us not to read off our slides, for you to actually remember a presentation that you actually remember? Because when it comes down to it, you remember Steve Jobs. See, Apple person. But you remember him, you don't remember his slides. You remember what he talked about. You remember, oh man, great, he pulled a MacBook out of a thing, but we remember him. So ignite your own presentations. I have my students, they have to give 5-minute presentations now. Imagine if all of our meetings had 5-minute presentations. How awesome would that be?
Awesome. Give it up for Bethany Smith. You already are. It's great. By a show of hands, how many people have not been to Ignite before? Raise your hand if you've not been to Ignite before. Oh, awesome, awesome, awesome. And by a show of hands, how many people is this your very first time at Ignite? Should be the same people. Some of you have been drinking. Good.